Hey, what is going on, everyone out there? Welcome to Goddess of Many Faces YouTube page. If this is your first time listening, tapping in, mind you, whenever it's like really dark in terms of the black screen, it's just gonna be audio. I have no intentions on coming on camera or showing anything. It's just purely talking. I know that there's different apps out there or things that I could probably put a picture up, but I don't know. Like, I don't know how to, I'm not tech savvy. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So I'm just going to talk now, and I want to wish everyone a happy Halloween. Today is going to be an amazing day. I hope you guys have a great day. Because my day is going to be definitely eventful. I just wanted to come on here and do a little chit chat, talk about different things. Um, yeah, but if this is your first time, definitely subscribe. I'm on a road to 100 subscribers. Maybe I should push it up a little bit, like, to like 500, 1,000, but it is what it is. Yeah. Um, yeah, so Halloween. I think Halloween is like, to me, I love Halloween. Um, you get to dress up, um, put on, you know, your best costume. You get to scare the ish out of people. Um, I already have my costume, so I already let you guys know I've been had my costume since August or whatever. Even though I've been going to different Halloween events over the weekend, today I'm going out. I'm not going to disclose right now where I'm going, but I'm going to be taking footage. It's definitely a costume party because, I love to party. Well, you guys will probably already know, like, cause I already, I done spilled the beans. Um, but I want to, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. It is what it is. But I'm definitely gonna, um, have some footage of, my costume and where I'm gonna be at and stuff like that. It's a party, basically. Um, The only thing that right now I'm deciding on is how I'm going to wear my hair. Okay, that's the only thing I'm like thinking. Should I go with like jet black hair or should I do red hair? That's the only two things that I'm debating on, like as far as like costume wise. Um But yeah, it's definitely gonna be a witchy vibe today. I tell you that much. It's gonna be a witchy vibe. And the only thing that I wish I would have did was buy a damn what is it called? Uh um uh um oh my gosh, what is this thing? A tripod? It's not a tripod, it's a tripod and selfie stick, right? But I have one. I don't know, I had one out somewhere because I like to bring the tripod because I just like having it. It's a tripod and a selfie stick. Um and I don't know, this is my second one that I had bought off of Amazon because the first one I had went to a party and I had took it out. I don't even remember taking it out. or whatever. And I left it there. And I meant to go back to get it, but I just never went back to go get it. It was just like a house party. As you guys know, I love to party. Like that's just my thing. Like I just love it. Yeah, I love partying. I was just thinking about the weekend ahead. I'm like, the Day of the Dead is Monday. I mean, Friday. So they're gonna have like different events for that. So I'm like, I enjoy you know, because in the city they have like parties practically every day, but certain days are more popular than others. Like in the city now, the weekends have always been popular outside of the pandemic. The pandemic was just like, oh my God, it was just a different atmosphere. But I'm just still debating on what I'm going to be doing this weekend, but I'm definitely going to be partying. I tell you that much. If I'm not partying, definitely going to be painting. But I'm going to, because I told myself tonight what's crazy is that I said, like, I don't want to be partying like in the AMs. So I'm doing my partying earlier. So hopefully, the event that I go to is, more of a mature event for the simple fact that I chose like, earlier hours. And what I noticed that like for the parties for people who are like over 40, it's typically early. You know what I'm saying? It's like this one particular event that I like to go to. It starts like around 6 and then it's over like around 11:30. You know what I'm saying? And then when you coming out the club or whatever, you see like the youngins on the line to get in for the late night, the 12 a.m. to 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or whatever. But they have other spots where it's like it starts like it's from like probably like 9 to like 4, and it's a lounge and it's like a mixed thing. But what I found out when I had went to this like 70s party or whatever, but it was a costume party, and they have like disco balls. It's real nice in there. But well, actually it's supposed to be like 70s, 80s and 90s music they supposed to play. But when I was there, they mostly played like 70 music. You know what I'm saying? But the 70s, they don't play like they play like more so like the 70s pop, you know. I thought they would be playing like when they get to the 80s, they'll play like more of Michael Jackson stuff, but they only played one of his songs, no, two of his songs, because it was like a Halloween thing. So they did, Thriller, whatever. But I enjoyed that. But I noticed that the parties kind of like end a little early. But I don't know for some strange reason, because I was gonna go hang out later, like, you know, after like maybe like after 11. Um, but I'm like, I don't know, I just want to be home at a certain time. I don't think I want to be out past midnight tonight. I think I want to be home. So no, I don't think I'm tonight. I'm preferring to be home. Yeah, I want to be at least home by before that. Mhm. I don't want to be out all night tonight. I don't know why. I just don't. I'd rather be home. I'm definitely. I have me some paint canvases. So what I'm gonna do is I'll probably go live later on and do some painting, or maybe I just take some footage of me painting and then possibly put it up. That's what I'm like leaning towards because I got some nice paint canvases. So I'll probably come in and do that. The only thing is that I wish I would have bought a canvas stand. I think what I'm gonna do is go to Michael's and get me a good one. a nice canvas stand or whatever. Do that because where I got that from? Oh, I got it from. I had went to Five and Below, and I was in like their arts and crafts section, and they had like blank canvases, but then they also have instructional canvases, like canvases that are, like uh that has something on it. Um, and what I have is like one that has like flowers on it, and so what I could do is like color it, like it's kind of like a coloring book. It has an outline. Everything is roses. No, I don't think it's roses. It's just regular flowers. And so I'm like, I want to do that. I'll probably do that later on tonight. I should have did it last night because really Halloween started at midnight. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really Thursday going into. It's really Thursday midnight. Well, Friday midnight. No, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday midnight. Going into Friday midnight is Halloween. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Yesterday was just I don't know. I ain't get no rest in the daytime, so I had to get some rest that night. I was doing a lot of I was doing cleaning and stuff. And yeah, yesterday was an okay day for me. It wasn't like the best, but I was able to get through it. I did some cleaning, and I watched a documentary about the woman who stated that she got abducted by aliens by the Brooklyn Bridge, um, well, in New York City. And, you know, I know where them areas is at. That's the crazy thing. Like, I know exactly, like, I could literally walk to where this woman says she was at or whatever. Or based off of the documentary, you could kind of like see the area. But I found, because what's crazy is like when I was checking my email account or whatever on Yahoo, um, like, before you get to your email account, Yahoo pretty much got like all these news stories and articles and stuff on like the main page. And so when I had seen that, the title, it was saying in reference to the woman who like she's gonna sue somebody, because they made fun of her, something like that, in a Netflix special. I'm like, what? And so that was on like Tuesday, and then it was like no Monday. I seen the email. I mean the article, and so it was coming on Wednesday. So I was saying to myself like, I'm like, I want to see that because I never heard no story of a woman talking about that she's been abducted by aliens. You feel me? Like that just sounds, I don't want to say it sounds crazy, but it's just like in New York City, not too far from, you know, the one World Trade Center, like not too far from Wall Street, not too far from uh, you know, uh walking distance from the Brooklyn Bridge, right? So her thing, what she said happened, right? Because see, that's why I should have probably took notes so I could have these people named from the documentary. Because I'm gonna be like this man, this woman, because I really don't know their names to be honest. I probably should have took notes and wrote their names down. But if you've seen the documentary, then you have an idea of who I'm talking about based off of what I'm saying, or if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna try my best to kind of like paint a picture, give a clear summary of it. But basically, it was this man who was like kind of like doing conducting research on people being having like alien visitations, like where the aliens are experimenting on these people, right? And everyone that had came to him always talks about them, being laid out. They putting like a tube up their nose and stuff like that. And he was like, conducting different hypnosis so people could go back to that time and you know, talk about their experiences. And so um as he was conducting these things that he was doing, I guess he like ran a group. um and the people in the group, would talk about the experiences, or they have one-on-one sessions with him where he do like a hypnosis. And then the guy wife was like a videographer, like she used to record these sessions or these different things that took place. And so one day this woman who lived in Manhattan sent him a letter talking about an experience she had when she was on her family vacation. And she talks about in the family vacation, I think it was like an area where there was like trees, like you think about like a suburban area or a wooded area. And she talks about like um when she went to sleep, right? Uh like she had a visitation from aliens, and they like had her like in their ear and stuff, and then she like woke up in the woods or something like that. And she like wrote the letter so vividly that he wanted to know about more about her. um is her name coming to me? Let me see. mm, Her name ain't coming to me, but she was a very beautiful woman, very pretty. Like they have footage of her, everything. Is it? It's all with an L. Because I think his wife's name was Carol, and I think her name was something. Her name started with an L, but I don't want to jack it up. And so, you know, she talks to him. He wanted to immediately meet her, right? He calls her and stuff like that, and then I guess you know, as she started communicating with him, um, you know, then she has this experience. Like one day she calls him and say like, "Oh, the night before last, I had a visitation again, whatever." He invites her in for a hypnosis so that she could, cause like some people when they go through traumatic things, they block out some things. So I guess just bringing it all to the surface. So basically, what she said stated in this um experience that she had, like after the one she written about, because after the one she written about, they was meeting and whatever. But then she had another experience, but this time it was in her apartment, and she lived in New York. And she talked about I think she said she was like home alone or some shit like that. And she woke up and she saw them in her place or whatever. And then they started levitating her, and she levitated out the window and up into the, I guess, the aircraft thing. And what's so interesting about that, she talked about it happening, but then there was other people, like 23 witnesses, who also said that they heard it or saw it. Like the guy on the Brooklyn Bridge, he said that how he was driving home or whatever, and then all of a sudden all the lights came off, and then he just saw this woman levitating up in the sky, like coming out the window up into like to the sky. And I found that so like so interesting, like, because like with me with this particular channel, YouTube channel, I just like to talk about dreams and like astral traveling, um, but never like, because the woman was talking about how At first she thought they was like ghosts and stuff like that. She thought they was ghosts. She didn't know that they was aliens. But then when she was reading a guy who does like the research, one of his books, and then it kind of like triggered something for her. And like with me, um I like to come on here and talk about like um the astral travel, like the dreams and stuff like that. Cause I don't know, it's very like it's I don't know, like I don't see why would someone put themselves out there with a crazy story like that because it just makes you look crazy. It just does. Like I don't know. Like I just can't to me, you know, I just think for somebody to come out with an outlandish story like, oh, I was abducted by aliens in the middle in Manhattan. You talk about Manhattan? By the Brooklyn Bridge, there's always people out. Like, you know what I'm saying? It could be quiet as hell, but there's always someone like that's gonna witness some shit. Like, I'm sorry, it's New York City. Like to say something like that, that's crazy. Like, no, excuse me. To lie about something like that to me is the most craziest, outlandish shit. Like to say you was, abducted by aliens and you was floating out your window and up into an aircraft in the middle of the night. I don't remember them saying like, oh, this took place at this time or anything like that. Um, well, actually, the guy on he said something a time, but I saw that like the whole thing because I found it to be rather interesting. I was like, wow. And she was talking about how like the some agents came to her house. Um, then there was another encounter they had. It was like it was not just her, it was like her whole family who had that encounter. And her son was even saying like, oh, they came and then I have and my mother froze up and all this stuff. And her thing is like, oh, if the aliens wasn't you, then they'll have you. And the guy who's conducting the research is saying that he feel like the aliens are making trying to conduct experiments on um people because they think they lower level beings, just like as if when humans conduct research on animals just to see how they live and stuff like that. So he was comparing it to that, but his wife at the time, I don't know what happened. They fell out. And she wrote this crazy article online talking about they fake and everything like that. But what I honestly believe, and it's just my thoughts and my theories, it may not be true. I feel like maybe because that woman was very attractive, you know what I'm saying? She was just hating on her like and felt like she probably was doing something with her husband and he not spending time with her. He's consumed with this new client that he has that he is potentially able to further his career with, like, because it was like a big story and he was doing like large speaking engagements. He was trying to do movies based off of her story. He was trying to write a book. He was trying, you know what I'm saying? Because her story made so much attraction. You know what I'm saying? Then also like with all these witnesses that came forward. Cause it's like, come on now. And this was during the time, they say that this happened November of 1989. So during that time, people ain't have no cell phone cameras. You feel what I'm saying? Cause you already know, like if that like could you imagine an alien um a alien uh spacecraft come now and you got some women levitating in the sky, yo, you're gonna have like about 100 videos alone, cell phone videos. I don't think nobody thought to pull out they big cam, like, cause they did have camcorders back then. Cause it's people out there that used to like to do home videos. I remember we used to do home videos. We used to sing on the videos, record and have fun. Like, yo, them camcorders was like, I feel like a lot of people had those camcorders and but like I don't know if there was like an alien invasion now, but then it's crazy because a few years back people said they seen a aircraft in the sky, but that's even documented on YouTube. I think it was like something where someone said they saw like an aircraft in Brooklyn and it was multiple people who seen it because I heard this man's testimony. He was like, yeah, I seen it, blah, blah, blah. And then another person actually like tried to take footage of it. It was just like aircraft, but then with me, I just honestly feel like there's different aircrafts out there that uh you know that don't may not be like from aliens. It probably just be like an aircraft. Like you see, like when you go, it's like this car, and it look like superistic. Like it looks like it's I don't know what kind of car that is, but it's like silver. It looks like a car that's probably like from 2040 or whatever like that. It looks futuristic. But I just feel like there's aircrafts out there that's advanced, um, and that they may appear like it's a foreign object from like a foreign being. Because first of all, there's so many planets out there, like outside of Earth. You know what I'm saying? I never worked for NASA, none of that stuff, so I don't know what goes on in that corporation or what type of I'm not fully vested in the research and knowing who actually went out to space and stuff like that because that doesn't really interest me. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, because you know how some people out there they like sports and they be heavily into it. They know the players, the teams, and you know what I'm saying. They uh buying stuff that they feel like is going to be valuable years later. And there's people out there who feel that way about space and NASA and things like that. And they remember different events that took place. And I just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have to do research in reference to that. And I'm just being honest. But I remember many years ago, probably like in 2012 when they was trying to get people, or 2013 when they was trying to get people to sign up to go to the moon or something like that. I don't know if anyone's seen that, like, um, or moon or Mars or somewhere. It was like, but they was trying to prepare it for like 2020 something. They like, oh, you sign up and then you could go out there. I don't know what they got going on out in space. The only way I feel like if I ever go to space, if I astral travel or something like that. But then even then with the astral, see the thing about the astral traveling, right? See now I'm talking about dreams and stuff, right? Is that what if it's not in the same dimension? Like, cause what I notice is sometimes things look different. So how could you really know if you're in this realm? Like in my mind, like in speculations, like to know that you're in this room, if everything look exactly the same. Like let's say let's say if there's a piece of tissue on the floor, right? And you forgot to pick up that tissue before you went to sleep, right? And you know what I'm saying, you go to sleep, but you really like astral travel, like you have an out of body experience, and you see that tissue in that same spot that you dropped it on. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, all right, boom. I'm in this dimension, but just in a different, you know what I'm saying? I'm not physically there, but I'm like here. You know what I'm saying? like they say, people there's people out there that be watching people. Mm-hmm. In the astral realm. The only thing that I could talk about is this movie. It's not a movie. It's a TV series. And these TV series that come on Netflix, I always call them movies, but they not. And I believe this TV series called In Her Eyes. Now, this particular, see, and it's all movies. Like, see, the movies, they be having shit head on. But then, like, when you think about it in real life, right? We talking about like real life, like shit just happening in real life, like you know, in that particular movie. I'm gonna summarize it a little bit, but it's Netflix series is so, it has so many parts to it and there's so many layers, like, and someone who's watching it, like, you would just think like, oh, okay, this is just this woman. She meets a man and she has an affair with him. Things don't work out, but it's actually deeper, very deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Because the man's wife is really not his wife, right? Because along the lines they swap consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Along the line, his wife was killed and someone took over her consciousness. Because really, what that denotes is, I mean, in that particular movie, they talk about how, well, they don't talk about how they, you know, as you go on to watch it, you see how, um, like your consciousness is just really being, or your soul, whatever's really operating your body, pretty much, right? This particular man, because it was in a psych ward, this man, see, that's why, see, you know what, next time I come on here and I talk about movies, I'm gonna have these names of these characters, because me saying, oh, this man, this woman, it's just like, so it's so many men and women in these movies, in these Netflix series, I mean, in these series, but it's like I didn't know I was gonna be talking about it, you know what I'm saying? But see, when I talk about that, I think about an experience that I had, and I spoke about it on a different video. But I don't want to talk about it now. I just don't want to do it because it's gonna like mix shit up a little bit. But like with this woman, right? She was like in a psych ward or whatever, and she met this guy in a psych ward, and they became like very cool. But the woman had a husband, or she was engaged to someone. You know what I'm saying? And they had like a great chemistry, but she just had like a lot of different stuff going on. But then she connected with someone who was like into, he was like a heroin addict or something. Like he was a druggie. Um, but she didn't, I don't think she knew that he was like heavily into drugs or whatever, because they was in a psych ward. You know what I'm saying? They was in a mental institution, so it's like limited to what you really know a person's about. Like they used to have great conversations or whatever like that. And so she got out before him, but he come from a place of um he came from a place of like he ain't had no money. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's just like some broke dude. struggling or whatever like that, but she actually came from money. Her family was rich. And so when he got out that the mental institution, she was already out, you know, and so she invited him to her house. And so he seen how she living and stuff like that. And then he was like heavy into astral projection and shit like that. And when they was in a mental institution, he used to talk about, you know, what he would do. And he used to have a book and stuff because he used to like journal and stuff. And so what the crazy thing about that is that, like, the way he was able to like have these astral projections or these out of body experiences, or like he was able to see what it was his dreams. He was having these dreams, and so it would start out as him becoming lucid. You feel what I'm saying? Like his lucid dreams would turn into astral projections. You feel me? And so how he know he was in the dream, like how he trained himself is that he would look at his hands and he would count his fingers. And once he count his fingers, that did something in the realm of his mind to like let him know like, yo, we in a dream. You feel me? And so that's what he did. He would like just count his fingers, and then typically he has 5 fingers, but in a dream when he counting it, he has 6. And so that's how he kind of like knew he was in in a dream. And then once he knew that, he was able to control it. And so he kept the book, like, and all this stuff. Like the guy that was in the mental institution, he kept the book, have everything outlined or whatever, stuff like that. But when you watching it, like in order to get the full scope of it, I think it's like 10 episodes, so it gets like further deeper. So I'm just doing like a little summary or whatever, right? So, the guy, he comes over there, see how she living and all that stuff. And but fast forward it going back, right? So when a woman like, well, let's not fast forward then. So the woman who was in the mental institution, the man that she fell in love with, they was like really close. Like they was really close, happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? They had a great chemistry, whatever like that. No, I think I need to go forward. See, I'm not the storytelling, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know I was gonna talk about this. So I'm not trying to give away all of it, but all right, so let me just go back to the part where the guy he get out the mental institution and he go visit the girl. He find out like, yo, she got money, the house is big, all this stuff, right? And then they start like experimenting together. Like he start like they start going to sleep together, right? Or going into certain trances where they could travel together. You know what I'm saying? Like travel in the astral realm. And so it was this time when they decided that they was going to switch consciousness. Like instead of him going back into his body, he's going to go into her body. You know what I'm saying? And she's going to go into his body. But the way they illustrate it on the show is like they like this, just like this ball of light, and they just traveling. So it's not really like uh, um like a physical soul or an astral body. They depict them as like just a ball of light. And the way they come out is the way they come out from their heads. They don't come out like, you know, how you would see someone like come out their astral body. Like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like a physical body. It's like, no, they's just like a ball of light. And every time I think about that, I think about that time when I had fell asleep at my mom's house. I don't know. It's just a memory. Now I'm going down like a memory. But then I don't really want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like triggering it for me. Like it's just, you know how when you talk about something and you start merging with your memories, or it start bringing up other stuff. And you know, with me, it's bringing up this memory because um I was uh thinking about, like, the subconscious or the conscious, like, prior to, I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. I said I don't know. Thumbs up if you think I should um, talk about that story. But thumbs up about that. Because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I told the story already, but I'm just like thinking about it or whatever. I'm just really thinking about it. Because I remember uh, when I was like sleep, and then I came out, but I came out through my head. I didn't come out like, you know what I'm saying, through my body. I came out the back of my head, just like the way that movie depicted. Like, and I remember like flying around and it's being like dark. You know what I'm saying? And in a Bronx, like the Bronx is like, I don't know, like when you raised in environments like that, you don't really see how bad it is. Cause you in it. So it's just like you just learn to adapt to it. But it's just like a certain energy at night. You feel me? Like, see, what's crazy is it's like um how the news depict everything that happens like in New York City versus your real life experience. Because there's people out there that they be outside all the time at night, and you know what I'm saying, they don't see none of this stuff. They go to parties, they hang out, right? And it's like they don't see no crime, none of that. But I tell you, with that experience that I really didn't want to talk about, it was like as if I came out, you know what I'm saying, my body, but through my head, right in the back of it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like flying around and shit. And I was just seeing everything, but you see it like in a glossy way. You don't see it. I didn't see it like the way I would see it now, but I seen it in like a glossy type of thing. And this was years ago. This had to be like, I was still in my 20s. So this was so long ago, right? But when I seen that movie, Netflix series, TV series, because I always call it a movie, it just brought me back to that. I'm like, oh wow, like that was interesting. You feel what I'm saying? Because now, what I was trying to really do, like in a reference to dreams, was like trying to see my body, and everybody, like, you know what I'm saying? You hear these stories about people who, like, you know, like, you see these stories about these people who like, you see these stories about these people who talk about, oh yeah, I had a out of body experience and I was able to see my body. I never seen that. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I never like got out my body. Like the only thing is that story I was telling you about how I got out my body and I fell on a floor, But even when looking back, I didn't see my body. But then I said, well, I like to sleep with a whole bunch of covers over me. You feel me? But as far as seeing my physical body or floating and all that shit, I just never like, you know what I'm saying? It's not nothing that occurred to me now because, there's a lot of memories and things that have been buried, that people ain't tap into. And sometimes when you go through stuff, like sometimes you could, take a memory and and um and bury it. But I would like to say like, or I would like to think that those experiences are really not traumatic, you know, for someone to really like just bury it or whatever, you know. But that experience was like interesting, you know. It was very interesting. And it just could have been, thinking about it, it could have just been a dream. And it's just like you dream of these having these certain experiences that possibly just feel real and stuff. But like how I knew, but I don't want to talk about it. See, I gotta, I don't know, cause I'm live right now, so I'm just being very uh selective with the words I choose and how I communicate and memories or stories or dreams that I choose to share. Um, because a lot of things can be like misconstrued, you know, and people could take it and run with it. I think that's something I had to like kind of like get over or whatever in reference to that. Like um that's what I'm learning, but some experiences just like with the woman who say she was like abducted by aliens. I feel like if I was abducted by aliens, I don't think I would have to share that story because that's just like that just sound like outlandish. Like I think even with me even talking about my astral travel experiences or certain dreams that I have, and this is when I'm sleeping, I feel weird out. You know what I'm saying? Because I be like, because there's people out there that just, they go to sleep and they never dream. They go to sleep and they never dream. And I just feel like it may sound crazy. Like it was so many years before I even started this channel that I always wanted to talk about dreams. I always like talk about astral travel and stuff like that. And I used to talk about these things with my friends at that particular time that I had. Um, and they looked at me like I was crazy. Like, you feel me? Like, so, like, oh, here she go with this, whatever, because that was interesting to me. Um, I feel like during that time, I wish I would have like tapped into like research or something, or knew that there was a whole world of people doing research in reference to that. And but I feel like even with like certain research, it's like it's still like your story. You feel me? Like um, it's still your, because no one could really tell you Like, you know what I'm saying? People could give you outlines of how to do stuff, but at the end of the day, you still have to do it. You know what I'm saying? You still have to go out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like with college and shit, right? You go to college, you get your college degree. Like, let's say, for instance, you get a college degree in nursing or whatever, you pass the test, but until to be an RN, but until you're a registered nurse, all that stuff is just, it's just theory. It's just not, you know what I'm saying? Until you actually get your hands wet, actually go work in a hospital or work in a nursing home or wherever you're working at, you know what I'm saying? If you a visiting nurse or whatever, until you in a practice, like you can't, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff is just theory. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, with people like, oh yeah, you going to school to be a teacher, but until you be a teacher, until you actually are practicing it, you know, because I mean, like, I could have all these books forever, like in reference to dreams, but until I practice some of these stuff, because it's like, people they do these different researches and stuff like that, but I don't know, some of this stuff, like, I don't know, it's like weird because it doesn't, some of it doesn't resonate. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, it's just some of the stuff and the things that some people be telling me to do in the book, some of it just don't resonate. I don't know. I don't know, just like that experience I did with that deep meditation I went to. I didn't do that completely the way they told me how to do it in the book. I did some of the stuff, but then I still had a result. But I wasn't thinking I was gonna have uh the results that, I wanted to have. But it is what it is. But until you like really practice it or like get your feet wet, you know what I'm saying? It's like what's really the point? Like, I mean, but I don't want to say that because it's just like, you know, like let's say for instance, if you just reading books about astral travel and you never had the experience yourself, or like let's say if you never dreamed, but you reading books about dreams and other people experiences and research, it's like you just never had that experience for yourself. Like what I realized with the dream world, right, is that there's people out there that tap into, that can communicate with other people. You know what I'm saying? Like communicate with people that has passed on, get messages, like literally, like as if, you know how you talking to your friend in real life or you talking to somebody in real life and you remember everything. You remember all the whole conversation, right? Um, you remember everything. What you said, you know, that person's facial expression. Um, I want some more ice. Hold up. 1 second. I want some ice. Hold on. Yeah, I wanted to add some ice because I've been sitting here for so long, my damn ice melted, and my ice melted, so therefore my drink got a little warmy warm. Forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, that shit just really, mm-mm, really left my mind. Yeah, I wanted some ice. Cause I'm like, I don't want to drink no damn hot juice. The hell? The hell? What's going on here? You know how you know what I'm saying? I like my joint to be cold, be like cold. Like I like me a cold drink, yo. Like for real. I don't know what I was talking about, but I have no. I forgot that fast. I thought about some ice. Went in the kitchen, got some ice in my drink, and then voila, we here. That's the thing about being live. It's like it's no do overs unless you know what I'm saying. Like you go in and you could, cause they say you could like edit some of these videos like after the fact or whatever. But I don't edit nothing. I just let it be up or whatever because ain't nobody got time. Cause I mean, for all that, I could do a video and just edit the video and then put it up. I'm like, the whole point of going live is because you know when you don't have no storage or whatever, you could just do the video. Cause I don't know, these phones are different, very different. It's like anyway, I don't want to talk about that. I'll start talking about the damn phone and the storage. You know what I'm saying? Cause you'll buy a phone that has like 800 storage gigabytes. Don't use no storage on the phone, but then you use the storage from like the cloud or whatever, and you gotta pay for that. Like, come on now. Then once that get filled up, they trying to get you to buy more storage. I'm like, listen, I come from an era when we ain't have none of these phones. We ain't have none of this technology. None of it. Nothing to store nothing. You know what I'm saying? You either had a camera to take your photos or you bought a disposable camera. You know what I'm saying? You had a video camera that took video footage, something separate from your camera. We ain't walk around with cell phones. Yeah, you might have had a beeper back then, but not even people walked around with beepers. It's like, yo, you had to have quarters on you. You had to have change. You know what I'm saying? To use a payphone. I had seen a payphone at this gym I went to. I had took a photo of it, put it on my page. And I'm like, yo, to think of a reality where you didn't have to have no phone with you, like you didn't have no phone with you, like no phone, like you just go out. If you had to if your mom's was at work or your father was at work, you would have to call a job to ask to speak to them. It was no calling no damn cell phone, sending no emails, sending text messages. We ain't had none of that. We had a landline. That's it. A landline. You know what I'm saying? The phone company had to come out and connect your phone up. You know what I'm saying? Like when you went outside with no phone, none of that. None of it. If you wanted to make a phone call home, you had to use a pay phone or you at your friend house, use a phone. Like we ain't have none of this stuff. None of these apps, none of this stuff. You know? It's the only crazy thing is now, like back in the days, you remember people's phone number. Like I'm from that ever like we talking about the 90s. Talking about the 90s. Like the first of all, the 90s was a different time. The atmosphere was a different energy. It's just the whole feel was different. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not discrediting with what it is now because it's like a lot of things are being exposed and you know a lot of the veil is off, like that spell, whatever that spell was for the 90s, like you know what I'm saying, like now we do have more means of communication or more means of knowing information, but does that mean that it's better? Like, because I would like to see, like, if how would people really maneuver without their phones? The other day I left my house without my phone. I went to the gym without my phone because what I'm doing now is trying to like work out and just get back into the groove of things. Like just give myself uh like being more productive and being more active. Like, as I'm getting older, I'm getting like I'm seeing like me being set in my ways a little bit. And I'm like, certain things, I'm like, "Oh, girl, I'm not in my 30s no more." I would say like I'm not in my 20s no more, but people don't really prepare you. What they don't prepare you for is that you would just get older. Like your physical body would get older, but your mind would just be on some however you was functioning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like I'm 41, right? And I like to party. Like, I like to go out, like to have a good time, you know, but I have to be very selective with the clubs that I go to because I'm like, I don't think I want, no shade to. If I was with if I had a group of family members who was like younger than me, a young group of family members, and they all wanted to go out to a club and they chose to go to a club where they was young, I would feel okay with that. But I just feel like for me, I don't know, I have to be in an environment with 40 and up. I don't know, like, no shade, like, but I had to come to the conclusion, like, when you're partying, you're gonna be partying with all age groups. That's just what it is. Like, what over 21 when I say all age groups. I'm not talking about like this ain't no, you know what I'm saying, whatever. I'm talking about over 21 because a lot of the places would say over 21, right? But then there are certain places where they don't have um um like the event would say grown and sexy, or it will say retro, or it has certain trigger words so you can know like, okay, this is for people older. But just like when I had went to that Halloween costume party over the weekend, this was clearly for people 40 and up, 45 and up. But when I went there, I seen some people in there that looked like they was in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they looking for a sugar daddy, sugar mama, whatever. You feel me? Cuz they just play 70 music and I feel like I don't know, maybe it was a costume party and people was feeling that, but I seen some young people in there and it's just like some sprinkles of young people. Unless these people was old and they look young, but you clearly you when you see a young person, you already know. Cuz I feel like people in their 20s look significantly young. Like when you think about it, I feel like once someone reach like 28, 29, like their body starts to change. You know what I'm saying? Too, it changes different. That's why when you see people in their 20s who are actors, typically they play like teenagers. You ever notice that? Like there's people who like in their 20s and they playing teenagers because they still look a little young. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I don't know, like I remember one year I had went to like a Halloween party and I had went there because they had this artist who was like in their 40s. So I'm like, if this artist is in his 40s and he's a rapper, then it's gonna be people like in their 40s. Clearly that's a lie. because rap music, hip hop is a young person's sport. It's just what it is. But as far as like those are the people that's gonna come out to these events, but that's a lot too, because there's people out there who just they hip hop fans, and it's just like the type of music that you like. That shit don't go away because you turn 40. You know what I'm saying? That's why I realized like unless you cultivate uh different habits or cultivate a different mindset or like do something different, then you just gonna evolve into the same person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you the type of person you like rap music, hip hop, that don't go away because you turn 70 years old. If you ain't cultivate something else or some, if you didn't evolve into like, listening to other music, you know, because some people as they get older, they start to introduce themselves to different kind of music, like classical music, jazz, instrumental, um, different kinds of music or whatever. But if not, if you the same old person, you the same old person. And it is what it is. It's nothing negative or bad about it, but when I was younger, I used to think that once you turn a certain age, it's like automatically you just change, but that's not always true. That's not always true. That's why you see people that constantly do the same thing in all age groups that they have ever been. You know what I'm saying? But that's what people don't really like, prepare people for. Like you gotta cultivate something different within your life or change something within if you want to see something else happen. Other than that, you just be, you know what I'm saying? Like if you was that young person in a club, that 20-year-old in a club looking for PUSSY. You know what I'm saying? You ain't find no woman yet or whatever like that, and you ain't try to go to different places or whatever like that. You'll be that same old person in a club looking for PUSSY. I'm just saying. That's just my thought behind that. Mm-mm. But it is what it is. You know, where people at in their life is where they at, and that's just what it is. You can't, change nothing or force people to be something that they not, and it's just that simple. Um, yeah, but that's why it's important. Well, at least what I think, right? Because I'm like, people could do whatever they want to do. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person I don't judge or anything like that. Like, it is what it is. As long as you ain't hurt in my eyes, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, making people do stuff like against their will, they don't want to do whatever, you know, I don't care. Like, you feel me? Some people are just so judgmental. Like, you can't even go to the club. Like, if you were that person that in your 40s and you partying at the 20, you know what I'm saying, the club with the 20-year-olds party at. I mean, that whatever, that's your business. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But I know this event that I'm going to, it said 21 and older, but it's a Halloween costume party. But it's early, so I really don't know what I'm walking into, to be honest. But I just know that the event is early, and then they have another event after that, like that's like 11 o'clock. So I'm thinking, like, when I go into this spot, it's going to be older people there, because I'm like, young people don't, they like to party at night. You feel me? Because on, when I went to over the weekend, when I went to this party or whatever, and I was coming home, I seen so many people. Yo, it was yo. I forgot how Halloween was because it's not really Halloween. It's Halloween. Halloween. Because these, listen, I seen somebody. It was cold. It was so cold. They had on just a leotard and some stockings, and I'm saying leotard because they had like a Playboy bunny outfit. You know how the Playboy bunny outfit? They got the leotard with the stockings on, and then the it was like a boosty. I was like, it is freezing out here. But when they say a hole don't get cold, okay, because it's just or these costumes be like, girl, my costume is a bit appropriate. It's appropriate, definitely. Like I ain't gonna be showing too much. I ain't gonna be showing nothing at all, to be honest. But I forgot how it was. I'm looking out the window and I'm like, oh wow. Cause it's like everybody, the spot I was in, people was just like they had their little costumes on. I ain't see nobody with no thongs on or no, you feel me? Like no lingerie and none of that stuff. It was just like strictly some nice costumes and but I forgot like the younger demographic, but even the older. So I can't even you can't either way you put it, like if you on that type of time, like because I'm like, but a lot of these Halloween costumes, when you go to certain websites, it be just like, girl, where you going? You going to the stripper pole? Like, what we doing? Mm-mm. But do as thou will. Do what you want to do. For real. I was just like, mm-mm. I could have pulled out my camera, but I was like, it's not that serious. That ain't you know what I'm saying? Like, people already know how it is for Halloween. Halloween, people be walking outside with thongs on. I'm like, what's going on here? But it is what it is. You know, what can you really do? I just know that I love October. October is like a great month, like to be honest. Like, it's so much stuff to do in this month. A lot of free events um that one can do. Another thing is I'm supposed to be going to the movies this morning to like the matinee, but I don't want to go, to be honest. I'd rather just watch scary movies in the home. But I was supposed to go see Smile too, but I don't want to see that in the movies. I don't know. Before I go to like this party, but I don't think I want to do that. I'd rather just probably like chill out until it's time for me to go or whatever. But I just know that I want to be home early tonight. I don't know what that's all about. Because typically I like to be out all night, but I want to be home early. I really do. I want to be home early. What they say, the early bird gets the worm. Yeah, I'm gonna be an early bird tonight. And I have this skull pen. It's like it has like six skulls in it, impressions. And I wanted to make a cake, but I'm like, maybe I should. Cause last time I made a strawberry shortcake with the skulls. Oh, when I tell you that cake was so delicious. I want to make like a nice cake and use the skull pan. Maybe I could do because that strawberry shortcake. I took pictures and I put it on here, but it was so delicious and so pretty. Oh my god! But next time, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray the pans a lot so that it could be easy for the cake to come out of. Because when I tell you cleaning it was just like a torture. It was just like I didn't put because last time I think I just rubbed butter in it, but this time I want to do some spray. But I do want to do some cupcakes. Mm-mm, I do. I want to do them strawberry skull shortcake. Oh my god! When I tell you it's so delicious, it's so freaking delicious. And I didn't even write down the recipe. I don't think I wrote it down. Nowadays, what I do is I try to write down the recipes. And that one I didn't write down the recipes, but I remember what I got. But next, I wish I would have wrote it down. I don't think I wrote it down. Well, matter of fact, I didn't write it down. I didn't have to because I think I did a video about it. So that's a good thing. So I think I did a video about it. And I think I posted it. So that's even better so I could see what I used. Um, but the only thing is before when I made, because I had made a strawberry shortcake for my birthday, but I didn't use the skull pans because I didn't have it by then, I don't think. And what I did was when I did the strawberries, I had um, real strawberries and then a canned strawberries. And so with the canned strawberries, what I did for my birthday is that when I heated it up and added the sugar to it, I put it immediately on a cake. But the second time when I did it with the skull strawberry shortcake, I did the mix with the sugar and the canned strawberries. I put it in the refrigerator, let it cool. That was the best thing I could do. That's why I know I gotta do that because that was the best thing ever. Cause it just made it taste good. Like, cause I use real strawberries. I'm not saying the ones in the cans aren't real strawberries, but they can strawberries. So I have the fresh strawberries, and then I had canned strawberries that I use, and then I use like some the whip, the Cool Whip that you put in the freezer. I used that. Oh my god, it was so delicious. When I tell you that cake was so good, oh my god, it was so delicious. But I really don't want to do it because it's like, if I could just, cause the box of cake ain't the box of cake when I was growing up. Cause the box of cake when I was growing up, they used to give you a lot. When I tell you they used to give you a lot of cake mix, all that stuff. Now it's not that much, but I just feel like if I was able to make just like two skull, cause the cake mix really caters to six. And I don't want to eat all that. You feel me? Even though I will eat all that. And it would take me like probably a week or a few days or whatever to eat it. But when I tell you it was so delicious, it was so delicious. But I want to do that. I don't have no candy either. I wanted to like donate some candy. Cause it feels odd, being outside giving out candy to random kids. I just feel like that's like creepy. Like I wouldn't want my child to take candy from people from outside, random people. Now, what they do is they in New York City allow the kids to go to stores and get candy. So over the weekend they had like this little event for the kids, and I'm like, damn, I could have like, low key um donated some candy or whatever like that. But I don't know. Today's gonna be so great. I'm gonna have so much fun today. And it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna take some photos, I'm gonna take some footage, and I'm gonna put it up here. I don't know if I'm gonna do it today, but I know definitely I'm gonna go live later and do some painting. If not, then I'll probably just come live later and talk about what I did or whatever like that. But yeah, I'm excited. I love the month of October. Ugh, I hate to see October leave, to be honest, but um, I'm gonna make the best of this day. Um, I just gotta see how I'm gonna wear my hair. That's the only thing. Like, should I do the black wig or the red wig? That's what I'm conflicted with today. But I don't think I wanna go see. I don't think I wanna go see to the movies today because I was telling my son, I was like, yo, we need to watch a movie before Halloween is over. But I'm thinking like, a movie like on a TV. He like, oh, we could go see Smile, blah blah blah. But I don't know. I don't want to go to the movie theaters before. I don't know. I just don't. I'm not in the mood for that. I wish they had it. They had Smile where I could like, if I could order it on here, because sometimes they let you order um the movies that's out in the movie theaters on like the app, and you can watch it, but this particular one is not up there yet. I guess because it just came out in the movie theaters. That's probably why. hmm But I do want to see that. I wanted to see the Joker movie too, but my son was like, "Oh, the reviews for it is so bad." But I feel like the first one wasn't really. The first one was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta see it myself to make my own assessment of how it is, because people have different like expectations of what they think movies should be or how they should be, but I don't know. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get in here, um, and do some things. I don't think I want to go to the movies this morning. I really don't think I want to do that, to be honest. But I'm about to get off of here. If you made it to this very end and this is your first time being on the channel, definitely subscribe. I'm on the road to a hundred. I ain't even say 100, 100 subscribers. You know. But thank you. I gotta go. Oh, and definitely comment below. Let me know what you was for Halloween. Do you celebrate Halloween or you don't? Or let me know how you feel about aliens. Do you think they are real? Do you think people are being abducted and they're studying? Or also let me know um, what TV series that you watching that includes astral travel or whatever. Or just comment whatever you want to comment. It's up to you. But I gotta go. Bye.